Great. Thanks very much, Kelly. We do have time for some questions from our audience. And presenters, feel free to jump in with an answer. Actually, our first question is for Tom. Is it possible to search in product point components based on the parameter values?
Yeah, you can do a lot of different things with searching, but as Kelly was talking about, it's very flexible and allows you to access metadata, so it would include things like attributes. So search on, material type or a vendor name, and you'd be able to get results returned for things that have that as an attribute or have that string embedded in the part name.
Okay. We have a question for Kelly. How have the storage requirements and demands on the hardware changed from before Windchill to after?
Well, we purchased a new server specifically for Product Point, and we're not even close to straining the capabilities of it. Our other system that we were using really was just a network file server that just had folders and a bunch of parts in it, and we've been cleaning it out slowly but surely as we move projects into the new Product Point, and so I've been freeing up a large volume of space on that other system. But as far as the overall demand on things, it's been pretty easy. Our network system, we're running a gigabit network here, and it seems to handle everything pretty well.
Okay. We actually have another question for you, Kelly. How does Technovation use project management rigor, like developing and using a work breakdown structure and using that for drawing management?
We really don't use a work breakdown structure as such. Our project management philosophy, we have certain things that we use for each different phase of the project. And like I showed, you might have been able to see in one of those slides where I have created a custom document folder structure for each project. We have standard documents that go in each of those different folders. Things that we start off with from at the very beginning of the project with the customer, working with industrial design firm, all of the project tasks and other other things like that. We keep those in the folders, and so that way it's easy to go back and look at any of the data. We have started using within Product Point some of the task management features and all in there for when someone needs to order a prototype and things like that. We create tasks and all, and it seems to work pretty well as long as we stick to the process.
Okay.
If I can just add one thing here. This is Tom. Yeah, as Kelly mentioned, there are some capabilities that you could use as part of Product Point to do that. It's not really the direction that we're taking Product Point. I mean, there are some other tools and out there, Microsoft Excel being probably the premier one for doing kind of work breakdown and task management and program management, project management, things like that. There are other solutions from PTC that can also work with Product Point that have a richer set of capabilities for deliverable and task management and resource allocation and other things like that.
Okay, great. Now, Tom, the new loader, is that the same as a migrator that's available with 2.0, and where do people find out more information about them?
Yeah, so I think you're referring to if you're coming from an existing implementation of Pro Intralink 3X, like 3.4, this is a data loader which will be provided with Windchill Product Point 2.0. And it will be a tool made available, with the software that allows you to move all the content, including previous versions from Intralink 3X into the Product Point server. More details will come out from that and around that product and around 2.0 as we get closer to to the product availability, which will be the early part of next year.
Okay. What's the plan on supporting SolidWorks files?
Yeah, so SolidWorks and Inventor. I've got to put the caveat around this just because we are talking about the future release and we're not yet here, but the plan is in 2.0, the next release, to support both SolidWorks and Inventor.
Okay, great. How does manufacturing view engineering design data and provide input or comments for potential revisions?
Well, I'll give you my thoughts here, and Kelly or Ray, if you want to jump in. But this idea of having a lightweight viewable that kind of transcends whatever CAD tool is being used in the organization, or multiple CAD tools could be used in the organization, or to accommodate the fact that manufacturing may not be using a CAD tool. The fact that you've got this lightweight viewable, and we call that product view, that's the technology and the file format that Product Point uses. That's the way that you can look at, interrogate, assess for manufacturability, comment on, you mark it up, you can do measurements, you can explode an assembly, take a look at what's inside, make an annotation set, and then save that to the server and point that back to engineering and say, hey, if you made a couple changes here on this thing or on that thing, reduce the draft angle or whatever, or change this geometry, I can make the tooling much faster and much cheaper for you. So the way that we do that is with this light product viewable and the ability to annotate it.
Okay. We have time for one last question, and that would be for Kelly. Can you share the job titles of the 5 heavy and 2 light users that you talked about?
Sure. Our heavy users are our engineers and our designers. The 2 light users are engineering technicians, and typically they just need to get in and look at the data. They might put some Excel test data or something like that into a Product Point, but it's the 5 heavy users are the engineers and the designers.
Okay. I would like to thank all of our presenters today, and like to thank our audience for attending the live event.